Hello, my name's Javi, and I'm going to be presenting on gay rights and Marsha P. Johnson. I learned about gay rights in high school when they taught us about figures such as Harvey Milk, which was the first openly gay man to be elected into office in the U.S. here in San Francisco, California. They taught us about things such as the Three Article Clause, which made it to where police can arrest individuals who they deemed were not wearing 3 articles of clothing associated with their gender. This included makeup as well. We also learned how same-sex acts were illegal in 49 out of 50 states, even amongst consenting adults. And then we also learned about things such as Title IX, which made discrimination based on sex illegal. And then we also learned about the Supreme Court case that made same-sex marriage legal in all 50 states. When I was learning all of this, though, I felt like there was this disconnect between me and the history being presented. I couldn't see myself in this history. And it wasn't until I learned about Marsha P. Johnson that I learned that trans people and gender non-conforming people were completely out of the history. We were excluded from the history that was being taught. Marsha P. Johnson was a black trans woman who was also a drag queen. She was the leader in the gay rights movement, and she was the first person to resist police at Stonewall. She was said to be the first person to throw a brick at the police car. Learning about her felt like a breath of fresh air because I felt like I could finally see myself in this history, that this wasn't just history, it was my history as well too. An image of Marsha that stands out to me is one where she's wearing a flower crown, which radiates joy, resistance, and resilience all at once. Being a trans person in the U.S., in a time in which our rights are constantly being debated, in a time where there's social movements such as LGBT without the T, which seeks to hide and eliminate trans people from the LGBT community, in a time where I'm afraid to visit family in red states because I'm not sure whether or not I'd be safe, in moments like this, I turn to history. Marsha P. Johnson's work reminds me that trans people are not new, that a world without trans people has never existed and will never exist. Trans people, such as Marsha P. Johnson, refused to accept the status quo that they were given, and they fought for a world in which we were all included. Marsha's legacy is one that I carry. I see it in every protest, in every movement, and every action I take to be my most authentic self. She taught me that there's power in visibility, that visibility is revolutionary, and that there's power in being. Trans joy, which is loud, which is unapologetic and free, is our most powerful tool against oppressive regimes. I'm going to end this presentation with one of her most famous quotes. "You never completely have your rights, one person, until you all have your rights." What Marsha P. Johnson is highlighting is that liberation is collective. If we want to be free, we must protect our most vulnerable in our society, that we must fight to have a world in which everyone is protected, everyone is free, and that everyone feels safe. That's a world that I want to be in, and that's a world that I will continue to fight in. Thank you.